Hello viewers, hello good people. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for subscribing. I can see the number of subscribers is increasing. Okay, so thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for sharing our channel. Okay, can also to share our channel, please do share right now after watching this video. Okay, don't forget to like. Right, so last time we talked about the sources of history, and we discovered that in Zimbabwe we have about 5 sources, which include number 1, oral tradition, written records, archaeology, rock art, social anthropology, and number 6 is linguistic. Okay, then we talked about the advantages and disadvantages of using each and every source. Okay, oh, pane question yangu mind, ma'am. Pane question inogona kubvunza kuti what are the characteristics of written records, of oral tradition, of archaeology. Vakakubvunza ma characteristics, varongo kubvunza kuti unoziva sei kuti iyi oral tradition, unoziva sei kuti iyi archaeology, unoziva sei kuti iyi written records. Question yangu yo mind mangu, maybe ndo mawira ari kuda kuita this year. Okay, remember I'm preparing you so that you go and totalize next week ish pauri kunyora paper 1 yako. Okay, so kana vakati ma characteristics unongovaudza kuti what is it characteristics. What would that my advantages ese my characteristics of that source, my disadvantages ese my characteristics of that source. So without wasting much of your time, kana usati waona that video dzokera kumashure uchariona that video iroro randakataura about my sources of history. Okay, so today let us talk about the Great Zimbabwe. Okay, so the first question that we have today, it says, name any 6 artifacts discovered at Great Zimbabwe state. Anonzi ma artifacts chi. Kana tichitaura nezve anonzi ma artifacts, these are past remains. Zvinhu zvakawanikwa pa Great Zimbabwe pasingachagare vanhu, zvatakawana zviripo zvairatidza kuti vanhu vaigara pano. Zvizvo takawana pane ma iron gongs, tikawana pane copper plate, tikawana pane ma iron lamp holders, tikawana paine ma Chinese dishes, tikawana paine ma mirrors, tikawana paine ma iron spoon. Ameno takanyora kusasu. Yes, iron spoon, tikawana paine ma bangles. Okay, zvese izvi takazviwana pa Great Zimbabwe, ndio atinoti ma artifacts discovered at Great Zimbabwe state. Okay, then moving on to the next question, it says, which is part B, which contains about 11 marks or 12 marks. The question says, describe and explain any 6 reasons. Pari kudiwa mangani ma reasons? 6, only 6. Yogonyora 10. Pari kudiwa 6, which means for you to obtain 12 marks, you have to state the reason and you have to expand. You have to give you have to tell us more about that point, because this word describe here, it means state the point, then explain it, which means give reason for your point. Okay, all right, state, describe and explain any 6 reasons that facilitate the demise. Demise, it means decline, it means downfall. So iyo vakakuti demise usazoshamisika kuti vari kubvira chi, vari kungobvira decline of the Great Zimbabwe. Okay, so chii chakakonzera kuparara kwe Great Zimbabwe? Chii ichocho? Number 1, there was overpopulation. So overpopulation is a description. Please listen to me. For you to obtain 12 marks, my questions are again on list 6, chakati 6. So panapa ukati there was overpopulation. That's a description here. Now we are waiting for what? For the explanation. Wagutipa the effect of overpopulation, or show us how this overpopulation caused the demise or the decline of Great Zimbabwe state. Okay, so you're going to say there was overpopulation which resulted in the outbreak of diseases. So overpopulation pa Great Zimbabwe yakakonzeresa the demise in the sense that it caused outbreak of diseases. You see, ndinogona kutwista futi same point iyoyi ndichitsvaka zvangu mamax. Ndogona kuti number 2 chakakonzeresa demise ndobva kuti there was outbreak of diseases. Ndakuchiexplaina pakuexplaina unogona kutaura the effect of that point or unogona kutipa what caused that point. Anditika, so ndikati nini outbreak of disease ndobva nati caused by overpopulation. It's another point watova ne 4 marks. So ipapa panitori ne 4 marks dzandatotaura ipapo. One point ndekuti there was overpopulation which resulted in the outbreak of disease, saka une wopowa 2 marks over full stop. Kuda kukaida kuti zvisazosounda like you are repeating the same point. Unoona kuti wanyorai toti wapererwa woenda kwakupesira unonyora futi this one says zvandaita kuti outbreak of what diseases caused by overpopulation. Anditi? Right, moving on to the next question. There was shortage of salt which forced Mutota to migrate. So there was shortage of salt. Ndo point. Yakakonzere it forced Mutota to migrate from Great Zimbabwe into Dande area looking for what? For salt. And remember, my scholars antara zvakasiyana, they refer to this salt as salt. Mangoma historians, they refer to this salt as what? As the resources. Okay? Next point, lack of grazing pastures, which resulted in food insecurity. So, another factor yakakonzeresa demise, it was lack of what? Grazing pastures. And grazing pastures aibatsiridza inonzi iyo pastoralism, kureva keeping of animals. Anditika, so kana pakava ne lack of grazing pastures, it resulted in food insecurity due to sharp decrease in livestock what? Protection. That to explain a point here. Then also chimwe chakakonzeresa downfall Great Zimbabwe, it was periodic drought. Why it is called periodic drought? Because mad droughts aitika from period to period. Saka periodic drought yakakonzere which caused famine. In other words, unogona kuti futi there was a famine caused by periodic drought. No, zviita izvozvo. Inenge to another point. There was also succession what? Disputes. Anonzi ma succession disputes, let me explain in Shona. Kana kuchinzi succession disputes hama dzangu, tiri kubvira kunetsana over the successor. Suppose mambo anoda kufa, anditika vanhu vanenge vachinetsana over who will rule after the death of the what? Of the king. Do inonzi succession disputes. So there was succession disputes and what we call civil wars. Civil wars iwondo kana tiri kuti muZimbabwe muna ndika iwondo dzevanhu vemuno muZimbabwe like my political parties Triple C ne ZANU-PF zvikarwa tinoti it's a civil what? It's a civil war. So there was succession disputes, the dispute over the successor and civil wars, which forced the Mutota to fled from Great Zimbabwe after being defeated. Saka arowa vatisa. So vamwe vanoti Nyasima Mutota akarowa pa civil war ndobva aenda kuDande area. Ndo pakazonofoma Mutapa state. Vamwe vanoti Nyasima Mutota akaenda kuDande area achitsvaka salt. Ndo pakazofunga zvekunofoma Mutapa state after conquering the Tonga and the Tavara people. Handiti? So my historians anongotaura zvakaita se zvakasiyana, but zvese zviri correct. There was also depletion, which means lack or exhaustion. There was depletion of natural resources, which caused people to abandon Great Zimbabwe. So kupera kwakaita natural resources kwakonzesa kuti vanhu vasiye abandon Great Zimbabwe, vakuenda kuMutapa state kwanga kune abundance kuda kuti uzhinji hwema-resources. Right, the state became too big to be ruled by one king to communicate. No, another problem yakonzesa downfall yekuti state yakakurisa zvekuti kuti itungamirwe namambo mumwe chete zvanga zvakunetsa. Ndo point yatambotaura kumusoro tova population. So the state became too big to be ruled by one king to communicate, and this resulted in the rebellion, kupanduka kwemamwe ma-leaders, because mambo anga singachakwanise kudini kucontrola the state since yanga yakurisa. There was also shortage of food, which made Great Zimbabwe unpleasant to stay. Kushaikwa kwechikafu kwakakonzera kuti Great Zimbabwe isanakidza kugara. Hapana munhu anoda kugara mune nzara. Izvozvi many people they are migrating from Zimbabwe, they are going to UK. Why? Because hakuna zvinhu zvakanyasa kunaka, and izvo zvekuti hakuna magood standard, better standard of living, it makes Zimbabwe unpleasant to stay. Same applies ndo zvakaitika to Great Zimbabwe. There was shortage of food which caused the Great Zimbabwe to be unpleasant to stay. Hence the people, they left with no choice than to abandon the Great Zimbabwe so that they can search another piece of land where they can get what? Food in abundance. And they found what? Dande area kwanga kuina Nyasimba Mutota. Ndiwo mafactors aya akakonzeresa downfall of Great Zimbabwe state. Then party C iri kuti were the economic reasons mainly responsible for the demise of Great Zimbabwe state. Saka iwe sekufunga kwako patadzidza about what actually brings down the Great Zimbabwe, or what actually caused the disintegration of the Great Zimbabwe, or what actually caused the decline, demise, downfall of Great Zimbabwe. Pakuona kwako unofunga here kuti ma-economic reasons ndiwo akanyanya kukonzera kuparara kwe Great Zimbabwe state. Okay? So uchatanga wa supporter to a great extent. Don't go against the question, don't oppose the question. Tanga watenderana na question. Ukango answer which oppose this one, you are now answering your own question. So you have to agree with what the question is saying. So to a great extent, obviously, you are going to talk about the economic reasons that led to the demise or the decline of Great Zimbabwe state. So you say in arrogant fashion, zvinongoreva kuti in a broad sense, zvinongoreva kuti to a greater what extent. But sometimes to keep on saying to a greater extent, it becomes boring. And so you just change those words. You can say in arrogant fashion, the economic reasons were mainly responsible for the demise of Great Zimbabwe state in that. Uruona secret. So in arrogant fashion, which means to a greater extent, the economic, andakupikisa ndatini muri kutaura chokwadi apa, you are very correct kuti my economic reasons ndiyo akakonzera chi downfall. So in arrogant fashion, the economic reasons were mainly responsible for the demise of the Great Zimbabwe state in that, in the sense that there was a shortage of food. Ndakutaura manje ma economic reasons akakonzesa. Ndova na shortage of food caused by periodic droughts, ndova na exhaustion of minerals, ndova na shortage of grazing pastures, ndova na decline in trade, ndova na the soil become infertile, ndova na famine inofana kupinda futi ipapo, drought taitaura drought inofana kupinda futi ipapo. Anditika, so ndataura ma points mangani, ndataura 1 2 3 4 5 6. So kurauti on the other hand ndichataura about 4 kana kuti 5. Ndobva ndati nonetheless zvongoreva kuti however zvinongoreva kuti to a lesser what extent. Handitika, so political kureva kuti iwa husi kuopoza urungotataura hedu kuti maeconomic akonza, but however hauti economic did not, unoti however oti kuna zvimwe, because the moment anongoti did not wakutomakirwa maximum iri 3 haudariki 3. Why? Because vanenge vachiti you are contradicting yourself, you are confusing yourself. Tambokubvunza sitara kuti nonzani ndobva wandonzitonderai gare wakuti handisitonderai ndiri Priscilla. It seems as if hauna order, hausi kuziva zvauri kuita se zvauri kuita. So however kune zvimwewo beside the fact that my economic akakonza, yes, but however the political and social system also led to the collapse of what Great Zimbabwe state, in that there was overpopulation social way, which result in outbreak of disease social again. There was civil wars and succession disputes iyawachi political. So ntaroma points mangani 1 2 3 4. Okay, then ndichipedza takukonkluda. If you want kukonkluda kausakonkluda zvikukonese kuita A, but kana wakuzvinzwisisa konkluda. Okay, ida konkluda to close the curtain, economic reasons proved to be more active. So unongo konkluda kuti inini pandanyora nyaya yangu apa ndaona kuti my economic reason they proved to be more active in facilitating the demise of Great Zimbabwe. However, my political war nema social war reasons they played an important role toward the disintegration of Great Zimbabwe. And I said disintegration, it means downfall, it means decline, it means demise. Anditika, I hope you are assisted on Great Zimbabwe. Let us now look at other questions that can be asked on Great Zimbabwe. Vanogona kubvunza inonzi the origin of Great Zimbabwe state. So I'm not going to write anything on the screen. I'm just going to explain. So I want you to listen. So vakakubvunza about the origin of the Great Zimbabwe. Vari kubvira the beginning or the genesis kana kuti mavambo eGreat Zimbabwe kuti yakambotanga sei, chii chakonzera kuti itange. So pakutsanangura ipapo tine two matheories anotibatsira kuexplaina zvakanyatsokunaka kuti Great Zimbabwe yakatanga sei. Tiriteze. So there are two theories that explains the origins of Great Zimbabwe state. And the first theory is called the African theory. The Afrocentric theory. Right? Ndakuchitsanangura the Afrocentric theory kana the African theory inotaura kuti kudii. According to the African theory or the Afrocentric theory, Afrocentric theory inotaura kuti the Great Zimbabwe was built by Shona speaking people. Ndinzwe hama dzangu ndati kuti utsanangura the origin of the Great Zimbabwe unoburitsa matheory mairi, the Afrocentric theory and the European theory. So indri kutsanangura the Afrocentric theory. According to the Afrocentric theory or according to the African theory, the Great Zimbabwe state was built by the Shona speaking people. So my historians vatema vemuno vaitaura kuti Great Zimbabwe yakavakwa nechi ne vanhu vatema. Why vaidaro? Their argument based on the belief that Great Zimbabwe is locally available in Zimbabwe. Kurati inongowanikwa muZimbabwe zvinotopa evidence yekuti yakavakwa nechi nevashona. Then another reason vakativo there are other structures similar to that of Great Zimbabwe like Vanakami ruins. Anditika? Ndoba vataura kuti Great Zimbabwe yakavakwa nemashona. Why? Because mavakirwo ayakaita yairatidza religious symbol, yairatidza zvechivanhu. Iya inonzi the chevron hotel iya inoiswa pahari. Yese iyo ndo reasons avaitaura. Ndobva vataurawo futi kuti Great Zimbabwe yakavakwa nevanhu vatema. Why? Vaidaro. Because vanoti mavakirwo ayakaitwa yakavakwa as a trading center yekuti vanobva kunze vauya vachitrader vachiuya vachitradera Great Zimbabwe. Then kwaitawo another theory inonzi iyo yema Eurocentric theory kana kuti the European theory. So according to the European theory yaipikisa the Afrocentric theory, yaipikisa ichiti kudii, yaiti iyo the Great Zimbabwe state was built by non-Africans. Kureva kuti vaiti was built by foreign races, was built by European races, was built by the whites, not the Africans, not the black people. Okay, nemakai vaidaro vaiti ivo such complex ndo yava reason yavekutanga such complex structure like that of Great Zimbabwe, such beautiful structure like that of Great Zimbabwe cannot be attributed to the Shona speaking people. Vachireva kuti cannot be built by the Shona speaking people. Ndobva nemakai mchita yava kuno vanhu vatema zvikanzi during that time the Shona people were barbaric, were backward, vanga vari vanhu vakasarira who cannot make anything of historical importance. Saka vati nguva iyo vanhu vatema vanga vakapusisa zvokuti vanga vasingakwanise kuti vavake chinhu chakanaka kudai. Saka isusu vachena tinoti Great Zimbabwe haina kuvakwa nevanhu vatema. Saka vabva vabvunza saka yakavakwa nani? Maybe it was built by the Chinese, maybe it was built by the Phoenician, maybe it was built by the Arabs, maybe it was built by the what? By the Portuguese. Ndobva vataura kuti ma-structures ariko nyaya yemasheperwo akaitwa ndo aitwa kuArab and stuff like that nekumaSwahili and stuff like that. So ma-structures, ma-doors, the Concord iri Great Zimbabwe yakada kufanana futi neiri kumaArab and stuff like that. Ndo ma-reasons avaipa, but their main reason ngoti vanhu vatema havanga vake chinhu chakanaka Great Zimbabwe. So it's not the arguments of the Eurocentric views, it doesn't hold water. Why? Why it doesn't hold water? Because their argument is based on the stereotype kind of thinking, the kind of thinking that is one-sided. Yongoti isu vachena tisinoita zvinonzi zvakanaka vanhu vatema vaite sei avaite anything. Then another question about Great Zimbabwe, they can ask you about the factors that led to the rise of Great Zimbabwe. Great Zimbabwe. Number one, my economic factors. Availability of minerals which promote trade, that's number one, and also presence of fertile soil which promote agriculture, that's number two, and also abundance of animals for meat, skins, and ivory, and zvese zvai promote hunting. And also at the Great Zimbabwe rise, it was favorable climatic conditions which promote agriculture. And also kunonziko Great Zimbabwe, it rise mainly because there was availability of water along Mutirikwichi river. And Great Zimbabwe rise because there was absence of tsetse fly, which makes Great Zimbabwe pleasant to stay. Great Zimbabwe, it rise because there was availability of natural resources like salt and and firewood. Great Zimbabwe, it rise because of the payment of of tribute, which created a strong economic. And Great Zimbabwe yakaraiza mainly because there was a polygamous system. So polygamous system yakoshere ndio yaka increase population, ndio yakatipa futi source of labor. So vanotaura zvakasiyana siyana about the rise of Great Zimbabwe. Great Zimbabwe yakaraiza nekuda kuti there was kuronzera system or mafisaketo which shows equality in the state. Vamwe vanoda handitika so zvinongosiyana indatotaura mapoints akawandisa papa. Vamwe vanoti Great Zimbabwe yakaraiza mainly because of the downfall of Mapungubwe state. Vamwe vanoti Great Zimbabwe yakaraiza because yaiva ne strong army. Vamwe vanoti Great Zimbabwe yakaraiza nekuda kwekuti the king maybe anga ane good leadership qualities. So zvese izvi ndo zvakakonzeresa the rise of Great Zimbabwe state. So my questions avanogona kukubvunza. My questions avanogona kukubvunza. Ngati chikwezi. Vanogona kubvunza kuti to what extent did the economic factors, and ma factors akakonzesa rise. Vanogona kubvunza to what extent did the economic factors led to the rise of Great Zimbabwe. Saka unoti here ma economic factors ndiwo akakonzera kusimuka Great Zimbabwe. Yes, ichokwadi to a great extent the economic factors contributed to the rise of Great Zimbabwe. Why? Because there was a fertile soil which promoted agriculture, there was availability of hunting grounds, there was also availability of minerals for gold, there was also availability of grazing pastures which promote pastoralism. Okay, then we are going down to the other side. Payment of tribute which strengthen the economic base, and also cattle rearing yakapromota wealth, and unogonotaura nyaya trade foot yakalida to accumulation of wealth. So pama economy kunotaura zvakawandisa. However, other factors also led to the rise of Great Zimbabwe, like my political, my social, and also other factors. And my political my good leadership of the king, strong army, and also social tributaura isusu nyaya ye polygamous system. What to answer party yako woto pass. So ndo my questions avanogona kukubvunza akasiyana siyana. Then another question that they can ask you pa Great Zimbabwe, vanogona kukubvunza kuti state the reason. Ndrungo seta ma questions aya ndrungo fungira kuti maybe anogona ita se anogona ngouya. So I can't write everything kana ndichida kuti ndite fast. So anogona kubvunza kuti why Great Zimbabwe was built, or state any 5 reasons why Great Zimbabwe was built. So number 1 to 30, it was built as as the religious center. Tikati also it was built as a trading center. It was also built as Mambo Scotty. It was also built for the reason of it was built as an administration center. It was also built as a symbol of power. No, you're at that point. It was built because of good pastures. It was built because of good trade routes. It was also built because it was near the rivers, like Mutirikwi River. It was also built for defense. So see at that point. Yeah, that's it. So unogona unyora iwa ma points. Then also chimwe chavanogona kukubvunza about the Great Zimbabwe. Vanogona kubvunza about ma economic activities of the Great Zimbabwe. So apa ndichaita kuti ndinyore boss, unofanira kutozviziva. So question is going to list down any 5 economic activities. So in this list, then I'll explain each and every. Adidika? So number 1, unenge uine vakati list down tine trade. Hatuona zvikuitika pana. Trade, that's number 1. Number 2, tine pastoralism. Number 3, tine crop cultivation. Tine number 4, tine mining. Tango tangeta 5 chat. Ndinyasombo explain number 5. Then number 5 tesa chikwa. Alright, number 5 regarding is hunting. Then katingwesa H6 pamwe kuna kwana H6 tingaisa chiko apo gatise fishing later. Fishing kwa chimwe futi rega ndimbokutsanangurira apa kana ikauya papati A unongolista sezvizvi handitika but usingazoti 1 2 chinyora in point form handiti chero zvakodzora ticha wako abinoto wanyora seizvozvo right but yozouya papati B yoti describe and explain any 6 economic activities of the Great Zimbabwe. So chekutanga ku identify economic, the people of Great Zimbabwe, they practice trade. Don't manyora on it, right? What better they practice trade? What is sanangurira kuti trade yacho yanga yakambomira sei triteze. What do that they practice internal trade and external trade. Kurati internal trade ndoye kuti vaitengesana nayo pachavo, external vaitengesana nayo nevamwe vanhu. What do that kana vai practice external trade, vaita external trade none. So they practice internal trade where they trade among themselves, and they practice external trade where they trade with the Phoenicians, the Arabs, and the Portuguese and the Chinese. Anditika watopedza ku explain a point. Wakuti unogona kuposha kwe trade. Trade, it led to accumulation of what? Of wealth. When the pastoralism, what is pastoralism? Is keeping of livestock like cattle, sheep, and goats. What are the importance of keeping livestock? Keeping of livestock or pastoralism. Unomatsana same point. Keeping of livestock or pastoralism. It ensures what? Food security. It ensures food security. Right, that's it. Then wapenza kudaro. Wenda pa crop cultivation. They grow crops like sorghum, millet, and rapoko. And what are the importance of crop cultivation? Crop cultivation was important. Why? Because it ensures food security. What end up mining? What they practice mining? And what to pour my example? They mined minerals like gold, copper, tin, iron. And for example, what are the importance of mining? Mining was important. Why? Because it promoted trade. Right? They know they practice also hunting. They hunt big animals, they hunt small animals. What are the importance of hunting? Hunting was there to supplement their what? Their diet. What are about fishing? Fishing was there to supplement their diet. Watopedza kana yauya papati B. I hope you are assisted. Then I'm going to kubvunza futi zvimwe zvirudu. I'm going to kubvunza about the importance of cattle. My importance of cattle, number 1, for trade, payment of lobola, payment of fine, then also to slaughter during religious ceremonies, and also to obtain animal skins for milk, for meat, and for manure. Those my uses of cattle. Then we're going to describe a social organization of what? Of the Great Zimbabwe state. Can just go and read. Very, very soon. And you better listen and read. I'm going to about the political organization of the Great Zimbabwe state. So ndo my questions avanogona kukubvunza. Alright, there is something that I want to show you guys. And right. So I want you to look at this picture, guys. look at this picture. So let me try to, yeah. So we want a picture here. Remember questions are aripo, as you can see. Pan first question is crafts work practiced at Great Zimbabwe. Ma crafts in the app do agadasana pottery making, basketry, weaving, blacksmithing, sculpture, iron smelting, jewelry making, and also wood carving, leather work, ma buildings. Question ikaya kada ndo ma answer anodiwa I. Then another question gonna kuya foot is that tipe ma items exchanged for foreign goods. Both third paper light external trade paper ni ma Chinese nechi. Chitu zazun zvacho zvaitwa exchange. Ma ostrich feathers, gold, ivory, precious skins, ma beads, ma soapstone, ma dishes, ma baskets, and also kettle. Then another picture is very, very helpful. That picture. You need to be careful. Because my questions are do arikuwe. That's it. Then I'm going to go about my artifacts that were discovered in Great Zimbabwe. No for tools and I'm going to talk about my artifacts and it. But that's archaeology. Right, tinema soapstone bowels, my bangles, my anklets, my beads, bears, my pots, my plates, my cups. Ni mamwe andataura pa question andabva ku answer. Right, my items from foreigners, zvaiwanikwa nevanhu veGreat Zimbabwe chichibva kuma foreigners, vaiwana ma beads, my glasses, seashells, cloth, necklace, brassware, this one, those are one. Then also my foreign groups which traded with Great Zimbabwe. My questions are no and I never party. My foreign groups paiuya ma Portuguese, ma Swahili, ma Indians, ma Persians, ma Muslims, ma Chinese, ma Arabs. Ne anons ma Phoenicians. I mean to ma Syria. Ma Phoenicians. Right. Then Zimbabwe my resources in short supply at Great Zimbabwe. My resources are going to consider decline. The happy one. Do anosanganisira vana land, timber, firewood, ivory, salt, minerals, pastures. Then other Zimbabwe stone walls beside Great Zimbabwe. Kuna mamwe akavakwa se Great Zimbabwe nde api. Tinana tsindi, tinana nunguza, tinana musimbira, tinana dlodlo, tinana dana mombe, tinana nalitale, tinana kami, tinana manakwane. It's manakweni. I don't know, manakweni. Then also we have my social groups within my Great Zimbabwe. Tinains my spirit mediums, tinains my dramas, tinains my hunters, my miners, my farmers, my rulers, my queen mother. Those my groups atanga now my social groups. Then my groups who traded with the Great Zimbabwe, tamboma taura tamboi anze. Samwe pana ish. My patients were really chi tamataura isa. So guys on Great Zimbabwe, that's all. So Great Zimbabwe ikauya, that was what my pass. Great Zimbabwe current was what might say my pass. As long matera this video, mukanyasuru rampa uchikuruno uchikwenda uchinyora pasi zvakakosha uchibata nditi. That's it. So meet you on the next video. After watching this video, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And if you know anyone who is going to write next year, I'm going to drop my number here. Just check the number that is appearing on your screen. Mupiwo number idzodzo at conduct join my online lessons. Tatuvanawo kudhara vari kunyora next year, vari kuprepare for June next year exams. Okay? So usasarire. Udza vamwe iwe uri kunyora this year and you are going to pass, but vamwewo vari kunyoroka vari ifewo kuti vadzidzewo ma online lessons vakwanise kupasa.